Monday Night Raw, the longest running weekly episodic show in American television history. A show that began on the 1st of January 1993 on the USA Network, and still to this day, 28 years later, it airs on TV channels all around the world, making WWE more money than anyone could have ever imagined. But what is the key to Monday Night Raw's success? How has this show developed into the sports entertainment juggernaut that it is today? In this video, we're gonna dig deeper and investigate to find the real reason. Google reviews. We're on Google reviews, and we're gonna see what the people really feel, and basically why Raw is the success that it is, why they like it. Is there any running themes? And we're just gonna see what we learn. I think this is the most outright stupid entertainment there is out there today. I used to watch, but since it's turned into a childish, ignorant display of stupidity, I no longer waste my time, and I'm starting a petition and also a committee to make them go later on air. So not a good start. Not ideal, but we'll see how it goes. We should create a brand for Heath Slater, the Riot Squad, the Colognes, the whole 205 Live roster, Aleister Black, Cesaro, Nakamura, Sami Zayn, Tamina, Shelton Benjamin, Akira Tozawa, Drew Gulak, and the B-Team, so they can thrive and become superstars, with legends like Mick Foley, John Cena and Melina returning for a special one-time event if the Thursday or Tuesday night show works out. There should also be less house shows, as not much actually happens on them that people care about, so fans won't really lose out. Saxton, Phillips, Phoenix, Otunga, Madden and Ranallo should be more focused on the commentary booth, as they are much more competent on commentary than the older people. Or maybe bring Vince back as a commentator so that they can speak in normal English and call the match and not say things that are cringy or pedophiliac. Cole specifically. Is there something I've missed? That being said, the product has become amazing recently. Rowan vs. Black was a necessary that we needed, and happy to be said, the right man won. I'll just assume that was a typo or something. Hardy, Orton and Edge are having the time of their lives with one of the best storylines over the past 6 years. Baszler and Becky, Ripley, Flair and Belair, Kyle, LeRae and Knox, Lesnar, Heyman, MVP. Oh, Teague and Knox, right. I just saw Knox and I was like, Mike Knox, that's a bit of a random throwback to put in there. Anyway, 69 people found this helpful, and I really appreciate that, because it is the sex number, which is obviously very funny. Dear WWE, Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Roode. Thanks Barry Corgan, not going to job one night in WWE. Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose at the WWE pay-per-view TLC. It will be a match of no holds barred. That's right, not a single hole. For the WWE Intercontinental Championship. It'll be a Tang Championship. Pop Scott Dawson and his tag team partner, part of WWE TLC Pate with You, Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, Brian Corbin, interfere this match in a WWE TLC pay-per-feel event India Yes match in the WWE TLC pay-per and feel event. Bobby Lashley. At WWE, can you see pay-per-view event versus Elias, 5 best of women from a WWE and Monday Night Raw, and 5 of them progress on SmackDown Live, all winning. Even chamber match at TLC Pipe with You event. WWE NXT is coming to WWE TLC, paid a few event. Hot new superstars from WWE NXT want to be tried for a SmackDown Live. WWE Manga Night Raw going to be, and do you want bath pick for a WWE NXT superstar to shouse? It's going to represent WWE NXT, and also I could add on this WWE TLC pay-per-view event to the Fife Life, also going to be 2 after pick. 48 people found this helpful. And I'd say make that 49. I found that very helpful. Thank you very much, Matthew. As a fan, I love WWE. Since I was a kid, I watch every week and seeing superstars doing their best to show entertainment, but there are some superstars that need a push, like Heath Slater, EC3, Jose, Apollo Crews, the B-Team and others. This poor fucker, man. All his favourite wrestlers got released. Not that I don't know what that feels like, but yeah. As a lifelong fan of the WWF, or shall I say WWE, or shall I say the Fed, or shall I say the Worldwide Wrestling Federation, or shall I say Capital Wrestling Corporation, WWE's flagship show Raw has continued to deliver some of the most good storylines up to date, even through the pandemic. My idea for Monday Night Raw is that 2 Fly crew, which consists of Ricochet, Cedric Alexander, Mustafa Ali and Apollo Crews, should also bring in Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley, turning on MVP, making them babyface. It'll bring us back to the old days, making them one of the most dominant and funny factions in WWE, like the new D-Generation X. Now, I don't mean to be rude, but that is the worst idea I've ever seen. I think the only good thing on Raw is the Hurt Business. So, To break them up is one thing, but like when I think of WWE during the pandemic, I think of like the charisma vacuum of babyface Ricochet, Cedric Alexander, and Apollo Crews trying to come back against MVP, who's verbally annihilating them. So I don't envision this being the new DX, but again, maybe that's just me. Brock Lesnar is out of control. You just make him out to be a big bully just throwing people around. Pulling people from the audience is stupid. Paul may be a producer, but boy does he play the role of a stupid manager who can't control his client. Surely there must be a better line or a superstar we can use to promote the show beside a big, dumb, muscle-bound jerk who can only throw people around. Can he even wrestle? Or does he only have boxing moves? I couldn't agree with you more, Don. I'm sick of it. I'll never forget when Katie Taylor F5'd her opponent in the Olympics to win a gold medal. And it's been done. I'm bored of it. Sick of it. We want wrestling moves. It's awesome. Especially when Goldberg can make any type of appearance. And the way they're currently pushing Apollo Crews is awesome. Love it. Best wrestling on TV. But Vince really needs to bring back GMs. Have Flair manage Raw. Have Hogan manage SmackDown to recreate a WCW rivalry but within the brands. I mean, some of the fantasy booking on here is 10 out of 10. When Drew McIntyre won the WWE title for the first time at WrestleMania 36 with 0 people due to COVID-19, I was really addicted to Raw. Then when Orton won the title just 6 months later, I kinda stopped for a while and played games like WWE 2K20 and WWE 2K15 on the PS3 and created myself to beat the heck out of Orton. WWE was the man back in the Attitude Era. People kept telling stories about how Kurt Angle won a medal with a broken neck. That's right, y'all. So in conclusion, watch the longest running episodic TV show of all time. That's Monday Night Raw. P.S. Please face me in a pillow fight match at WrestleMania for the WWE title. Guys, lifetime fans since age 8, now 46. Last week was the first time I have ever not watched it all the way through. I love this company since a kid. Now I hate it. It's so uninteresting these days. Please, need some interesting storylines. More drama, please. This show needs a reboot. Please, enough with the brand split. We need all stars on deck every Raw and SmackDown. No more brand split. It's stupid and makes no sense. I agree. All 207 superstars should be on every show at once. Battle Royales galore. That's how you do it in my opinion. 5 stars. I love WWE and I love fight. That's why I love watching WWE. It's amazing and wild. I love to fight with my sister. I always win. She isn't in tune with wrestling or WWE. I love to fight, to let my anger out, and when I do, it calms me down. Are you alright, man? Right now, Raw is pretty good because it's an escape from reality during this awful pandemic. I am so glad Florida deemed it as an essential business. I agree, you know what I mean? Like, there's really been no negative side effects to that whatsoever. AEW is going to get started, and I think a lot of us pro wrestling fans will turn to that. He's facing a billionaire, something he's never done. Vince knows nothing. He never has. He puts a guy like Trump into the WWE Hall of Fame, but a boxer who personally I can't stand, but nonetheless an undefeated Floyd Mayweather versus Big Show, and Mayweather doesn't make the WWE Hall of Fame? There's a legit problem there. I agree. Like, out of all the problems in WWE, I think the main one that everyone agrees on is that Floyd Mayweather isn't in the Hall of Fame. This show, along with SmackDown, is totally disgusting. I only came back to watch wrestling after being away for 25 years because of The Undertaker. Now, you don't see him. The women's champions, Becky Lynch, is a total witch spelt with a B. I don't really understand what he means by that. The quality of WWE Raw has deteriorated by not so skilled below par wrestlers like The Miz, Alexa Bliss winning championships all the time for extended periods of time. Roman Reigns, Sasha Banks, The Bar and Cruiserweight guys are the best. A bit controversial, but I understand he's given his opinion. He also says, Brock Lesnar is legendary. Again, a lot of people might disagree with this, but I can kind of see where he's coming from. You know, maybe this lad's making it valid. Nia Jax has the potential to be the best in the world. I used to watch Raw for nearly 6 years with the match of John Cena versus The Rock at WrestleMania, and since then, it's been a long journey. WWE always inspires me to go beyond my limit. It has caused a significant change in my life. I never missed any episode of WWE, and surely never will. At last, I want to say that it's the best show in the world. Olden days was very fantastic, like The Rock and Bill Goldberg. Matches were very much entertaining, but today, where the brand name is Raw, we see all baby faces and newcomers fitting like kids. Try to bring back people like Batista, Brock Lesnar, Kane, Ryback, so we can see monsters, and after that, check your brand rating will go top. I fully agree. If Ryback makes his return, that's WWE set. I have been a WWE fan for over 30 years. I remember all the craziness from the Attitude Era, but after last night with Brock Lesnar and his actions, I'm disgusted the show anymore. First of all, Brock never comes to wrestle. He only comes to hurt people, and good or bad, I don't find that kind of brutality entertaining at all. I'm very tempted to stop watching altogether. If Brock was a regular wrestler, it might be more acceptable, but the fact he doesn't respect us enough to wrestle regularly, or thinks that he doesn't have to, I'm over it. Guys, to be honest, WWE isn't as great as the Attitude Era, and the business is being run poorly, because in some occasions you can see that it's fake. Like when Undertaker kicked John Cena at WWE WrestleMania, Taker's foot was a full foot away from Cena's face, and yet he still fell on the floor. WWE is an intricate fusion of legendary aura and dramatism. I used to love WWE in the Austin era and most in the Goldberg era. I personally think WWE should have pushed Goldberg as the next Hogan or Sammartino. I love WWE, but what they should do is gather superstars who want to return and have only 2 on the Titantron, have glass tubes for their families or group, give them a vote stick with numbers 1 and 2, and if you want 1 on top, press 1 to return. If you want the 1 on bottom, you press 2. And they should have the returning superstar come out to start the show, then have the returning superstar come out and announce the first match, and the next match should be a battle royal with the strongest superstars. Then they should have a mixed gender match. Then it should be a first ever announcement. Then have another returning superstar with the same rules. Then have a Divas match. Then a championship match. Next a tag team match. Then announce the third returning superstar. Then have the returning superstars fight in a triple threat to close the show. That is a banging show. I would absolutely pay money to see that. Hey WWE, change your Raw, SmackDown, NXT, NXT UK 205 Live logo since it's 2021. Oh, and by the way, bring back Velocity, Heat, Superstars, Saturday Night's Main Event, Tough Enough, ECW, Super Showdown, Stomping Grounds, Crown Jewel, Armageddon, Capital Punishment, Judgment Day, New Year's Revolution, Vengeance, Bragging Rights, Breaking Point, Cyber Sunday, Fatal 4-Way, No Way Out, The Bash, Unforgiven, Over the Limit, One Night Stand, and Night of Champions. Thanks. Do you know what? He has a valid point. Like, if pay-per-views are really that good, then why don't we just have them every single day? Me too. Have the same opinion about the Raw brand. It's just mind-blowing to think that it's been so captivating for 25 years, the WWE audience. But still, there are several dream matches which have never happened before, which fans are dying to watch. These are the matches below. Quite a list. Particularly that one. Overall, I would give SmackDown 5 stars and Raw. I like how The Undertaker and Kane, the Brothers of Destruction, choke slams, and how the Big Dog and Goldberg does the spear. Ouch, that gotta hurt. Overall, I'll give it 5 stars because I like their moves and etc. 5 ways to spot a fake undercover wrestling fan. 4. They say, wow, I'm really enjoying this wrestling match, it's very epic, but then you see their screen and it's just a picture of Deuce and Domino stretched out on Microsoft Paint. Yes, I love the Big Dog's spear, that gotta hurt, am I right? WWE has a poor taste in professional wrestling. It isn't wrestling or entertainment. It seems to have gone from a sport to a slaughterhouse where people go to be ganged up on, beaten to a bloody pulp and disgraced in front of the whole world. Okay, Gerald. The storylines are not as good as they used to be, especially Bill Goldberg versus The Fiend. There's so much talent in WWE. Braun Strowman, Bobby Lashley, Eric Rowan, just to name a few, that are more deserving of a title shot than Bill Goldberg. Now that's an opinion that I can get behind. Very, very good. Good stuff. I am really waiting for the dream match, i.e. Goldberg versus The Undertaker. Both are true legends and they never face each other in WWE for any title match. It is my humble request, WWE writers, if they could arrange this kind of match. Well, Rashid, I hope you're fucking happy. They should do a brand that includes superstars from 205 roster like Kalisto and Sin Cara, and also put some of them in SmackDown Live and Monday Night Raw, which would be super cool. I think a lot of people would like it. WWE/F used to stand for Live Sports Entertainment. They dropped the sports, they dropped the entertainment. Now all that's left is live. Sad that ECW was gone. Best match was RVD versus John Cena, and the sipped poker with fit drives were nude. So that's that. We've read a lot of these reviews now. We've seen a lot of running themes, a lot of opinions, a lot of perhaps reasons as to why Monday Night Raw is the success that it is. Overall, we've learned nothing.